much covers the suspension upgrades that we did.
Okay, so these are the HKSs. They're like the what are the spring rates on them? Did you say? Or
I'd have to look again to be sure, but I feel like it was 8,000 and 6,000.
Okay, 8,000 front, 6,000 rear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, and these are put on directly out of the box, and as they came, no adjustments.
Wow.
Driving somebody else's car. You know how it goes.
That OEM clutch life.
But yeah, so ride height pretty spot on for what I was looking for.
Yeah, actually the ride height, like without doing any adjustments at all, like right out of the box, is really good. Like I was impressed with that because it's really flush. And you're on what kind of wheels are you on?
These are what are they?
Well, they're 17 inch,
track
right?
lights, or 18 inch.
Oh, 18 inch, okay.
18 by 8 track lights from Motegi.
Okay, and then tires?
Yeah, the tires are the Continental GT, Continental Extreme Contact Sport tires. So they're pretty good tire for autocross and so forth. Particular coilovers are meant more for your everyday driver and somebody that goes to the track on occasion wants a little bit better performance, and it's not heavily track focused like the SP variant.
Okay, and then after you got them installed, you had to go take them for an alignment, right? And then you asked for specific settings, or how did that work?
No, I did not ask them to mess with any kind of settings. Looking into taking it to an actual guy who does do track focused setup, but again, these aren't specifically for track, so you're missing one adjustment in particular, which is the camber adjustment that will be on the top plates of the SP variant that these do not have.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as the ride goes, I mean, the ride between this and factory, for the most part, is very similar. You notice it going over some railroad tracks and so forth. It's a stiffer rebound, but it's not like spine breaking.
Yeah, I think just from feeling it right now, like the rebound feels like it's a little slower. It's not harsh like the springs that I have. So I have the RCE regular guy black springs, and the rebound, I can tell just right off the bat, is a lot harsher than this. So it seems like the rebound is a little slower on these HKS coilovers than just normal springs. So I do like that. So I would think, like, if you were in a turn, then once you hit a bump in a turn, that rebound's going to help keep you glued to the pavement more, or keep the car more balanced.
Yeah, it's
instead of bouncing it.
Yeah, in general, when I've been in a turn and hit a bump, it'll scoot the car a bit, but it lands pretty true.
Okay,
that makes sense. So
it doesn't unsettle it too much.
No. I mean, usually in the factory setup, you kind of hit a bump and the whole car would kind of scoot to the left and then kind of jiggle around a bit. These don't do that as much at all. So
the biggest thing I noticed when I swapped out my springs is when I first got back into the car and then I jumped on the gas, the front end didn't drop as much. Like, so the car stayed level throughout a pull more. So then you could really tell, like, get a good sense of what the suspension was doing.
Yeah.
Or like how it was reacting in the stiffer spring rates.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I hit a lot of traffic this morning.
Yeah, there was actually quite a bit on the highway as well. Yeah, I mean, overall, pretty happy with the setup. Like I said, I think it does need to be have some dialing in done to it, and you know, just to get my preferences and maybe see what adjustments can accomplish on the suspension that I'm not even aware of yet.
Yeah, so yeah, that suspension in the rear is not dropping at all.
No.
So that feels good. That feels like really planted. Yeah, it's higher speed. For me personally, I'd have to stiffen up the suspension a little bit more, but for daily driving, like going over those bumps, it has really good spring compliance and rebound compliance.
Yep. Yeah, it stays pretty planted. You know, I mean, even though it's a soft feel, it stays pretty planted. I mean, for what I do, for the way that I use them, it's pretty much all I need. But I'd be curious.
Yeah, as a daily driver, like this feels like a really good suspension setup until you want to go like more aggressive on back roads, because yeah, for whatever reason it feels a little washy, but I'm sure that's just some of the settings on the suspension. But let's see how it goes here. Brakes are a good upgrade too.
Yeah, do you like the feel of those?
Yeah, man, those actually feel a lot better. Yeah. Like, that's surprising. Yeah, I'd like to get a little more heat in them, but they feel really good just coming out of it. Yeah, so I think I know what it is. I think so I did the Perrin, was it the shifter or the steering bracket? I think that's what it is, because I have to load your car up a little more and then I get the feel of the suspension. That's what it is. Okay, I was trying to figure out like why off the initial turn it feels a little lazy. So that's what it is. Okay,
so you've got the steering bracket in there that kind of makes the steering a little tighter. Is that what you're...
Yeah, so they the WRX, like they put bushings on the steering or something like that, so you on center it's got a little bit of a dead spot. And you can grab the Perrin kit, I can't remember, it's like Perrin steering kit or something like that, and that will stop that on center deadness. But for a daily, there are some sacrifices with that.
Like, what would you think would be the biggest noticeable sacrifice you make?
So what is it called? It's tramlining or something like that. When you have bigger wheels, the bumps in the road can steer for you. Right. So I think it's called tramlining.
With a wider tire.
Yeah, with a wider tire. So like, for example, I have 8.5, or yeah, 8.5s, I think. Or no, they're 9s. Sorry, 9.5 wheels. The width is 9 inches. Hold on, let's start. So the width of my wheels is 9 inches, and then since I've got that Perrin steering kit, the on-center deadness is gone. So like this, you have to load it up a little bit and then you start to feel the suspension. Right. But with that kit, it takes away that on-center dead spot. But
so when you tramline, it's immediate and noticeable.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely jerk the wheel a little bit. So I guess like those guys running 9.5, they'll definitely feel more of that tram lining than they would with a skinnier tire. Yeah, no, that makes sense, and that would probably be what you're feeling there, is a laziness.
I've experienced that same thing when I had my Supra, and it had 12-inch wide tires in the rear and 9-inch wide in the front, and it would tramline pretty hard, especially on like heavily rutted roads by semi-traveling.
Oh, jeez.
It was pretty irritating a lot of the times.
That Grand Touring life car.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Oh, imagine. Yeah, but
definitely a weekend warrior car, not my daily.
Oh, sure. What blow-off valves is on here?
None.
None? Oh, this stock?
Yeah, that's just the cold air.
It's a lot louder than mine.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
put on a cold air?
Yeah, I had to.
Right.
So I put on the Cobb SF, the big intake or whatever. It's the 3-inch all the way through.
Yeah,
this is
GrimmSpeed?
yeah.
Yep.
Wow, it seems a lot louder.
Well, the tubing is a bit shorter, which will give the, I guess, the blow off a little bit more sharpness. It won't muffle it as much, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe the SF box just does a little bit better job of drowning out the sound. But you also, do you have an upgraded blow off valve?
Yeah, so actually I got the Boomba, but that was leaky, so I had to go back to stock.
Okay.
And that was on the Pro Tune day, so pissed off about that. I'll never buy Boomba again, but
yeah, which is one that a lot of people recommend.
Yeah, but at the same time, I even have an upgraded turbo, so with that FP Blue turbo, I know the wheels are a little bigger, and these are a little smaller, so I don't know if maybe we're getting a little more sound off of that, but probably not. Just straight on.
Yeah, this thing, I think it's straight. Yeah, it's when I went in there for Pro Tune, they told me that I did not need a upgraded blow-off valve until I was up around 400 plus, I guess. And even then, they said it would probably be okay.
Yeah, we went back to stock, and I'm pushing 410, so
right.
There was no issue with it. What was it? When we got to the higher boost with the Boomba, then it started leaking. So, but yeah, as far as like, dude, driving around town, this definitely feels pretty good over the bumps and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, for a daily driven car, one thing you'll have to put up with, it offers you better performance for not much sacrifice on the comfort level. So.
Dude, that sticks. That sticks in a turn.
Yep.
Yeah, once it's loaded up, dude, it's solid. Like that rebound and dampening feel really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely, like, one thing I noticed the other day is I was pissed off because this person was driving slow as shit on this exit ramp. So I went around them.
Everything's slow as shit now when you have
right.
stage 2 plus.
I went around them. Literally, they were going like 15 or 20 under. And I'm like, it's green. Get to the light. So I go around them, and like the exit to Kenwood area mall there is like kind of slight S.
Okay, yeah.
And so I'm going through the S and like hit the middle of the S, and there's like this slight uptick on the elevation. And I guess I like was right in the middle of twisting the suspension back over to get through the S, and I went over the elevation at the same time, and it wanted to kick a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
It kicked the front or the rear or the whole car?
The whole car almost. Wow. Yeah, so it was a little weird at that point. So I don't know if that was like something special or if that's a setting that's